What's up everybody, it's Paul from Boosted Films, and in this video we're going to change the cabin air filter and engine air filter in this 2016 Mazda CX5. So some good news about doing this job is that you won't need any additional tools, and actually you won't really need any tools at all. We're going to start with the cabin air filter, and to do that we're going to open up our passenger side door and then open up our glove box. And of course you're going to want to empty out your glove box if there's anything inside of it. And then we're going to pay attention to this arm on the right side here. This is the soft open close arm. And now if you just lift up a little bit on the glove box and then get your finger behind the arm like I did and then bring it up towards you, you'll hear this arm snap out of place. Now you can move that arm, you can adjust it in and out as needed to get it out of your way, or when it comes to reinstalling it, you'll probably have to bring it back out a bit. But to lower our glove box the rest of the way, we're just basically going to pinch the two sides here and squeeze it, and then that's going to allow these protruding parts to pass by the sides, and then it should just drop down all the way. And then your glove box is hanging on some hinges on the bottom there, and you can just pull it off those hinges and get it right out of the way. And here you can see those protruding points that we just needed to make room to get it to drop down all the way from. And behind our glove box is where our cabin air filter sits. So this is the filter that filters out the air that is circulated within the cabin from your heating or your air conditioning. And you can see there's an airflow direction arrow on it, and there's this one clip that we kind of just need to press up on or pull up on a bit, and then this whole portion should just pull and slide right out. Now if there is any larger debris on the top, you want to make sure you try to pick that up and get it out of the way. You don't want anything really falling into your blower motor, which is underneath where this filter slides in. And here you can see this filter looks like it was about time to be replaced, but certainly not the worst condition, just a little bit dirty. And now what I always like to do is compare the old to the new. So we're going to take our new cabin air filter out of the box, just give it a check over, make sure it looks the same as the one we took out. That way we know we're not going to fight any other additional battles just trying to put this thing in. So of course this one looks good, it matches up right, so we're going to unwrap it and then get ready to install it. This particular one didn't have airflow written on that front part, it is on the back though, and you do want the airflow direction pointing down. And since the way this clips in, really this will kind of really only work one way in this situation anyway. But yeah, airflow should be pointing down, and then you should be able to just slide this in, and then once it gets close enough, you should just hear it pop and clip in place. And now that should be fit pretty snug in there. It shouldn't just come right out real easily unless you're releasing that clip. So we should be pretty much all set. Now to reinstalling the glove box, you can see the bottom portion here. This is where the hinges hang on the glove box. So we're going to line up the two spots where the hinges get on first, and then just get the glove box held up in place. Then you should be able to lift it up enough where those protruding parts that keep it from falling out, you can squeeze a little bit as you lift, but then you should be able to lift it up to get it in place. And then just, of course, pay attention to that arm, that soft release arm that we noted earlier. Make sure that's not in the way, but then line that arm up, and then you should be able to just push it down. Again, you can pull that soft open close arm in and out to adjust it to the length you need to line it up before you push it down. But there you go. Now just make sure your glove box opens and closes like it should, and you should be all set. And now that we have successfully changed the cabin air filter, we can move on to the engine air filter. And to do that, we're going to move over to the driver's side of the car, open up the driver's side door, and then down kind of where your knee would be as you're sitting, there is this latch to open your hood. So we're just going to pull that latch. Now at the front, middle of the car here, you can see where we can lift up the hood just a little bit, and then there is this safety latch in there that we need to go down and to the right in this case to release that safety latch while we lift up the hood the rest of the way. Here's a better shot of that latch arm that we just used to release. And then here's our prop rod. We're going to need to grab our prop rod from where it's sitting, and then we're going to have to lift it up and put it on our hood. A lot of cars nowadays have an arrow pointing to the hole that you would use for your prop rod to hold up your hood. You can see that arrow here. So of course we'll lift up our hood a little bit extra and then set that rod in place and then set down our hood. Now here is our air box that controls air. It filters the air that goes into our engine here. Now there's a top and a lower portion of this air box, and all we're really going to do here is release the top portion of this air box by removing this clip here and this clip here, and then noting that there's three spots in the back that kind of line this up that you need to slide it into or out of to install it. So first step, of course, is to release these two clips. Might just take a little bit of force, but you should be able to pop those clips free. And on the top side of this airbox, we should just be able to kind of lift it up and bring it towards us, or towards the front of the car in this case. And then once you lift up, it should just slide forward to get it out of those portions in the back that it slid into. And after that, you should be able to just lift up again the top portion of this airbox, while the bottom portion of it just stays in place. And the bottom portion is what's holding on to our engine air filter. So you should be able to get that free and just lift it up. It shouldn't be too hard to get out of there. And here you can see this air filter is still looking pretty good overall. Nice to see someone that's taking good care of their car here. But once again, just like with the cabin air filter, I would like to compare the old to the new. So here's our new engine air filter. So we're gonna take that out of the box and just take a look, make sure it's about the same height, width, and all that stuff to fit in this car. You can take a look in the bottom portion of the airbox if you can lift up the top portion enough. Just see if there's any larger debris in there. If there is, you can take it out. This one was pretty clean. If you really had a lot of stuff in there for some reason, a lot of debris, you could just go ahead and vacuum it out if needed. But now we're really ready to just slide in our new engine air filter. So we should be able to kind of just sneak that in here and then set it down. It should sit pretty flat and pretty flush. It's really going to only fit this one way, giving you a good shot here of what it's going to look like. And you can see how it should sit in there before we put the cover back on. And while the top portion of this airbox is out, it's a good chance to show you these protruding parts here more towards the back side. You can see where, again, there's 3 of them on the back side there. There is a little bit of a wire in our way here that we're going to have to move out of the way when we reinstall. But we're going to go ahead and do that now, actually. Move that out of your way. Move anything, of course, out of your way that would be preventing this from lining up with where it needs to slide in place. But you should be able to line it up the way it needs to be, and then push down on it a little bit, and then push it towards the front of your car, or towards, I should say, the inside of your car, I guess. And this is what it looked like once it was slid in place. So you can see these 3 points again. You want to make sure that all 3 of them are lined up and then pushed in the way they go. Now, when it comes to putting these 2 clips back in place, I will say you might have to push down on your airbox a little bit more to make sure it's down all the way. I think mine is just going to push down a little bit extra, just enough to make it easier right there. It slid down all the way, and then those clips were easier to pop on. Basically, if those clips seem really hard to get on, you might need to make sure everything's lined up, flush, and that you can get that airbox pushed down all the way before you really try to get those clips over. You shouldn't have to do a lot of force to get those clips in place. But now we're just showing what everything looked like when it was all back together. Looks the same as it was before we took it apart. Now all we need to do is close our hood, so we're going to lift it up a little bit, and then we should be able to take our prop rod out of place, put it back down in the clip that holds it in place. So you can go ahead and close your hood. You should just be able to let it fall, and it should latch all the way. You can obviously double check it, make sure it's latched all the way, and that you can't just like pull it up with your fingers or anything. And at that point, we're all set. We have successfully changed the engine air filter and cabin air filter in this 2016 Mazda CX5. So there you go, everybody. I hope that was helpful. If you want to help me out, or potentially other people watching this video, it'd be great to know if you had like a 2015, 2013 year CX5 that maybe this same procedure worked for you. Or if something was a little bit different with your CX5, that might be good for other people in the comments to know, so that could just be helpful for everybody. And I am a guy that just likes to document what he does, so there's certainly a chance that I did something wrong or could have did something differently. So if you want to let me know if there was a better way I could have done something, or you found a better way to do something, go ahead and leave a comment about that as well. But as always, this is Paul from Boosted Films saying thanks so much for watching. I just want to say that domestic violence is never okay. If you or someone you know is experiencing issues with a partner and doesn't feel safe, please visit the website thehotline.org or call 1-800-799-SAFE.